A headline I saw the other day was like the US might not have pandas for the first time in 50 years. Like pandas in the zoo. And the first thing I thought of was like, oh, damn, are they dying off? And apparently pandas aren't like an endangered species anymore. That's what I think I read online once. I don't know if that's true. But I was like, are they dying off? What's happening? Like, have we not had a panda born in an American zoo for a while? Because I know that like pandas have a lot of trouble fucking. They're sort of not into it. They're like, ugh, pussy, gross. Apparently what I found out is every single panda that we have, we don't own. It's on lease from the Chinese government. It's called panda diplomacy. That's the official like way that China hands out panda. It's called panda diplomacy, which is not as adorable as you sound. Because when you think about that, you think of like pandas giving a speech at the UN. You know what I mean? Pandas, fake panda and bamboo coming out with a treaty. But no, so apparently as an act of goodwill, China will give out pandas to countries. And so this started with us, with Nixon. I learned this in a history class in high school, that Nixon went over to China, and that was like a huge thing, and Nixon started communication with China. Should I have looked into this part a little bit more? Yes, absolutely. As an act of goodwill, China gave us some pandas. And that's something that they've been doing with other countries since then. And that's so dope that they have something like that, like a national symbol to extend diplomacy. Like, it would be fun. It would be awesome if, like, other countries, like if America came to Japan, and as a strength of our alliance, they gave them a bunch of hot dogs. That would be dope. If there was something like that for every country. Oh, Italy. Oh, Italy gave you a bunch of sexual assault, I guess. I don't know what Italy's pasta. But pasta's originally Chinese, I think. Regardless, that's how the pandas are given out. It's a 10-year lease, and it costs $1 million a year for those 10 years. So zoos are paying $10 million, or I guess it's the State Department, is paying $10 million for a 10-year lease on the pandas. And any cub that's born to a panda belongs to the Chinese government. So it's like, for them, it's sort of like being born on a military base. So in 2008, there was a earthquake in China that cost 60 to be rehoused, 60 pandas that needed to be rehoused, and those 60 pandas were given to countries with favorable trade agreements. So in exchange, like Australia gave them uranium. In exchange, they got pandas. That's a wild trade-off. To show you the value of having pandas. That's worse than the Brittany Griner trade. I would rather trade Brittany Griner for at this point, what is a compromised war criminal. There's no way he's like out in Russia doing stuff. I'd rather do that trade than let China give pandas for uranium. So why could they be leaving the U.S.? There's 3 pandas in Washington, D.C., 4 in Atlanta. The 3 pandas, the lease ends this year. The 4, the lease ends next year. And there is no talk about extending the leases. So for 50 years, this has been a symbol of our alliance with China. For 50 years. And now it's up in the air. And Chinese officials are like, no, this has nothing to do with, what's going on in the world. It's just that the leases are up, but it has everything to do. What is about to happen with China? Feels like something big, and it feels like maybe something's already happening. And the way that Chinese companies are buying up land and houses here, driving up housing prices for Americans, pricing Americans out. These foreign companies are just pricing Americans out. Are pandas in the zoo the new canaries in the coal mine? There's no pandas in the zoo. Things are going to be tough. Because as much as I like to think that we're number one in the world, I don't think that's the case.